So Switzerland go through to the playoffs, and we are out of the World Cup with 17 points. 4th behind Israel. Now, John, Ray Houghton said we went out with a whimper, and you used the expression watching the second half, we were again, you said to me, a shambles.
Shambles, Bill, by the end. Kicking balls, long balls up the middle. And we got what we deserved. We finished in 4th spot. And it's probably about right in the overall standings, especially in the last 2 matches when we needed to do the stuff. Now, there's a lot of talk about playing Switzerland at home, a good opportunity to do it. Well, there's only one way to do it, and that's to go out and have the moral courage, the physical courage to get on the ball, pass it. That's the way you play good. That's what good football is, Bill. But good football, if you're knocking it up the middle, anybody, you go up to the park and anybody can knock the ball 40 yards up the middle and hope you get a break. And that's what we resorted to tonight. With about 45 minutes to go. And I thought it was a shot. I thought it was a very, very poor...
As bad as Cyprus?
Yeah, in its own way, yeah.
Liam, no sense of direction, was there?
Well, you know, John said passing, and I would agree totally with him, but we didn't have a player who was trying to beat it. Whatever happened to players trying to take a player on and go past him?
He's injured. Tough.
Well, nobody else exists out there, you know, and that direction comes from the manager. Go out and express yourself. Go out and have the courage to take players on. We had 2 wingers. Andy Reid, he came inside every time on his left foot and crossed the ball into the box. And Kilban never took his man on once. He did, and he actually ran it out of play in the end. What do you expect? You're not going to create chances if you can't pass the ball or if you can't take players on and open the game.
Yeah. Your column on the Sunday Tribune talked about a team in decline, but you just made the point to me earlier on, but this is a young team.
Yeah, it is a young team, but it's in decline since the Israel game, when we were 1-0 up, and I don't know what the whole atmosphere in the side changed. We weren't playing particularly well in a creative sense up till then. But we looked as if we had a purpose. We looked as if we knew what we're doing. Since then, it's just gone into the shambles we've seen on a Saturday against Cyprus and tonight at home in front of an expecting crowd.
Didn't deliver.
No, it's a bitterly sad night for Irish football fans, particularly. Because
and an expensive one too in seedings, isn't it?
It's an expensive one because we will be seated lower probably as a result of this. But the team that went on the pitch tonight, the manager couldn't get a performance out of them, but he picked the wrong team. Morrison, if we could begin to analyse this game, Morrison really was a disgrace tonight. And when it came to taking one of the strikers off, he took Robbie Keane off. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe that was...
Well, you thought that was playing to the gallery.
I thought he was playing, yeah, I'm a strong man, Robbie Keane's let me down. Morrison was a disgrace tonight. He was fouling his man. Every time the ball was played up to him, he was fouling. At one stage, we were able to show it when we had a dangerous corner kick. Ian Hart swung one in, dangerous, and he's fouling the goalkeeper.
Corner kick in the last few minutes, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Corner kick in the last. The referee had warned him to stay away.
It's effectively cheating, because that's pretending to try as opposed to really trying. If you really try, jumping at half-time, you have discipline, and it's controlled passion, controlled emotion. Disciplined approach to what we had to do. That was a very undisciplined approach, and it was a shambles. The midfield, Matty Holland never touched the ball, and John O'Shea's completely out of his depth. You wouldn't have to be a rocket scientist to work that out before the match. There's a young lad called Quinn, playing for Sheffield United. Alan Quinn. He's not in the squad. He's a better player than either of the 2 midfield players we got tonight. He's a lovely passer of the ball, gets on it, plays, does the things Liam talks about.
And he's a Brian Kerr graduate as well.
But he's not in the squad. Because I don't think this guy has the plot anymore, to be honest. And I think
he's not going to survive, surely, is he?
Well, it's not our job to select it, but he's responsible ultimately for the performance. Because I've seen all of those players in different circumstances, or most of them, deliver real performances when required. Tonight, without Roy Keane and Damien Duff, of course, they didn't deliver. And I know those players can deliver much better than that.
We've been talking about the fact, like for a while, that the team hasn't performed or hasn't played for the manager. I mean, do we?
Well, we don't know. I don't know whether he hasn't played for where they haven't played for the manager, and we don't know that. But what we did see in the early part of Brian Kerr's reign, we did see them passing the ball well.
Correct.
I think up to Israel, particularly as Liam mentioned there. I think after the Israeli match, we played actually very, very poorly. I didn't think we played well against France. I thought we were terrible against Cyprus the other day. But it still boiled down, as Brian Kerr himself said before the match, we would have taken a win against Switzerland in the last match to do it. Now, the fact is, every team can lose, Bill. You can go out and you can do your stuff, And what I'd be looking for is the team doing the right things with a bit of moral courage to really express themselves and to try and win the game. I think from the start tonight, we started not badly, we got worse as the first half went, and we got dreadful as the second. I was always told and taught, Bill, when I was a young player, that no matter what the score is, continue to do the right things. In other words, have the discipline to do it, have the moral courage to continue to do the right things, because if it's right to do, it's right to do. If it's not right to do, then you should never be doing it at any stage in the game. And we finished up there, first of all, from the start of the game, giving silly free kicks away. As the lads mentioned early on, lack of discipline. That's not discipline. Giving silly, that's only letting the other team off the hook. And the longer the game we went on there, Bill, we only had one thing in mind for 90% of the time, was to kick it hoofer up the middle to Morrison, who wasn't playing.
But you're making
at
a
all.
powerful case, John, for a change, a kind of a root and branch review.
There's no doubt, Bill, a change is required.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that. That's got to be decided elsewhere.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, there will be an enormous demand for change, won't there?
Yes.
And there will be an enormous demand to say certain people shouldn't play for Ireland again. Morrison, people like that, they're not good enough.
No, hold on now, Bill. There needs to be a change.
I'm losing the run of myself.
Yeah, a little bit. But there does also need to be an understanding. And this is a dark night for Irish soccer, because going to Germany, at least going to the playoffs, and if we got to the World Cup final, it would have kept the young players who were there, giving them experience for the future, for the European Championships and the qualifiers there. It would have inspired another group of kids to take up the game in this country. But Roy Keane is gone now, and the future for Irish international soccer looks very, very bleak indeed. Yeah. And whoever does take the job of coach on has a hell of a job on their hands. Yeah. So we've lost a golden opportunity for this squad of players to acquire experience, and we've blown it in a big way. This is a very, very important time for Irish soccer, and serious decisions will have to be made.
The manager gives you the method to play. Under Jack Charlton, we had a method to play. Long ball, chase. All the players knew. The players knew what they had to do. Under John, we were going to pass it through midfield. We knew what he wanted. We knew what. But I don't see what Brian Kerr wants out there. I just don't see it. I didn't see it in Cyprus, and I didn't see it. He's just chancing to get results. Yeah. He's not trying to create something to get results. He doesn't seem to have a plan.
The madness tonight, Stephen Kerr had a nightmare, and it's not the first one he's had. Now, I don't think there's anyone seriously interested in analysing football who wouldn't have chosen Steve Finnan to play right back tonight. Just one example. There are a dozen others you could give, but one example. The guy's lost the plot.
Well, Stephen Elliott was a big loss as well.
We
only had two players on Saturday. Shay Given and,
he was one,
and
Elliott was one. He didn't make it.
You know, he's come on the last few minutes, and even the last few minutes that
it's
he was on.
It's unbelievably depressing, though, isn't it?
Well, I think that's the major thing that I found tonight, Bill. I wanted the match to be over. Even if we scored in the last minute, I wouldn't have thought it was a good performance for a team that's on its trying to get onto the World Cup stage. You know, if we played like in the World Cup stage, we'd be a disaster. Now, obviously, everybody wants us.
You know, are you suggesting that we've done ourselves a favour by not qualifying?
Well, no. I mean, everybody wants to qualify, but the manner in which we were doing it, Bill. I mean, I only saying you get a lucky goal in the last minute, and it would justify things that went on in the pitch there tonight that should never be justified.
There's one other important question, Bill. Where was Uri Geller? That's what I want to know.
I saw a helicopter flying overhead in the first.
I knew he got Michael Jackson off, but we couldn't win the bloody match.
His powers,
don't
the Irish team, are waning.
Not bad, Michael Jackson.
All right, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we'll be back with more reaction and analysis on a seriously disappointing night for Irish football.